Hi everyone, welcome back to Spirit Life. My name is Fatima and I make videos all about how to enhance your mind, body, and soul to live your happiest and healthiest lifestyle. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button down below and be sure to hit the notification bell so you can be the first to know when I come out with new videos. So in my last video, I talked to you all about quick and easy practical tips on how to have a better day and feel happier. For today's video, I want to go a little bit more in depth and talk about how to attain a more long-term, sustainable inner peace, even when you're not feeling so happy. By inner peace, I mean figuring out how to bring a sense of calm into your everyday life, no matter what you're doing and no matter what the circumstance. So if this is something that interests you, then just keep watching. So I want to start off by talking about the difference between happiness and peace. Happiness is an emotion. So like sadness, anger, or worry, it depends on the situation that you're in, and they're usually temporary. So when you're really excited about something and you feel happy, or when something undesirable happens and you feel sad, these are all emotions that are triggered by the chemical reaction in your brain that cause you to feel an emotional sensation in your body. Peace is something that is underlying. So it is an awareness that does not necessarily depend on your thoughts, emotions, or the situation that you're in. It is an underlying sense of calm that you bring into everything that you do by being in the present moment. So you can have a sense of peace even while you're experiencing difficult thoughts or emotions. Even when you're sad, you can be at peace. Even when you're really excited, you can be at peace. No matter what emotion you're feeling, you can still have a sense of peace underneath. So how do you get to feel peace? The simple answer is to be present. Everyone who knows me knows that my solution for everything is to become present. But a lot of people don't really know what this means or how to actually go about becoming present. By presence, what I mean is to become aware of yourself versus your life situation. This is something that I've been practicing for a long time, and that's probably one of the main questions that I've gotten over the years, is how exactly do you practice presence? So here are 4 ways that you can become more present in your life. The first way is by breathing. So you may have seen someone who's in a really stressful situation, something shocking happens, or they're really angry, and they're being told to just breathe. Just relax and breathe. This may seem really simple, but it actually can work wonders. Not only does it stop that sympathetic nervous system fight or flight response by calming down your body and slowing down your heart rate, but it also increases the blood flow to your brain so that you're able to think more calmly and clearly about the situation that you're in. And the way to be present is by focusing on your breath. Focus on how it feels when you inhale and air goes in from your nose. Notice how it feels when your lungs are filling up with air and your chest and abdomen is expanding. Notice the changes that happen in your body as you exhale and your body goes into a more relaxed state. Do this breathing mindfully and do it for a while. You can do it for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, even longer. Your thoughts will slow down, your body will calm down, and you'll be able to think more clearly and calmly and make a decision based on your inner wisdom rather than just reacting out of emotion in that moment. Another way to become present is to use your other senses. So this means to stop and notice where you are. Look at your surroundings. What's going on around you? Notice what you're hearing. Notice if there's any smells. Notice if there is a taste in your mouth from when you ate earlier. If you're touching something, notice how that's feeling. Presence is the awareness of what is going on within you and around you. Notice that, because presence is an awareness of whatever you're seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, or feeling. All of these are sensory perceptions that will get you out of your mind and bring you into the body and into the present moment. The third tip I have to become more present kind of ties into the first 2 ways. So yes, you've calmed down your breathing, you've noticed your sensation, but now it's time to create an awareness of yourself and the situation at hand. When you're deep into a situation, when you're fully immersed in that situation, it can seem extremely daunting and overwhelming, like it's going to take you over. But the moment that you're able to take a step back from that situation and be an observer of it, you'll be able to think more clearly about how to respond. Once you take a step back, you may realize that your initial reaction may not have been the best response. As always, with any situation, there's always only two choices. One option is to do something about it. So can you change the situation? Can you change the other person? Can you remove yourself from the situation? Is there any action that you can take to change that situation? The second option is that if there's nothing you can do to change that situation, or if you don't want to change that situation, then to accept it. To realize then that thinking about that situation over and over, reliving something that's happened in the past, or worrying about something that might happen in the future that you have no control over, to realize that this is useless. Of course, it's natural and it's common and it's the normal reaction of most people because that's what we're accustomed to. So it's okay to notice that. It's okay to acknowledge that and respond to that internally in the way that you want. But once you have that realization that you only have those two options, then it's up to you. Which decision are you going to make? Are you going to change that situation or are you going to accept it? If there's something you can do, do it. If not, think to yourself, do I really want to cause myself suffering by thinking about this over and over? Or is this useless and I should put my energy towards something that's more productive and in this present moment? Which again, like I said, you can come back to by focusing on your breathing and your sensory perceptions. My next tip on how to become present is to focus on mindfulness through interaction. This can be a self-interaction when you sit down and meditate, you close your eyes, or you write in a journal to get your thoughts out onto paper. This can be an interaction with nature when you step outside and you feel the warmth of the sun on your face, the wind in your hair, you notice the vibrancy of the colors around you, the vastness of the sky and the stillness of nature. This can be an interaction with others, for example, your pets. When you're interacting with another person, a way to be present is to be fully engaged in the conversation. So to make eye contact, to really listen to what the other person is saying without preparing your own response, to listen without judgment, and to be fully engaged in the conversation that you're having, and to listen more than you speak. Whatever you choose to interact with, let it be from a state of presence and do it fully and intentionally. Even if you're not around anyone and you're just doing a mundane task like washing the dishes or doing your laundry, be fully focused on that task. Whenever you notice your mind wander, just bring yourself back into the present moment. When you're waiting in line, instead of checking your phone, look around, observe your thoughts, focus on whatever the task is that you're doing at that time. Whatever it is that you're doing, be fully immersed in that task in that present moment. This doesn't mean to ignore any thoughts or emotions. What it does mean is that once you've acknowledged that thought, then to bring your attention back into the present moment so that you can give your full energy to whatever it is that you're doing. My final tip is to just do it. After you've tried all of these tips, which you can come back to at any time during the day, come back to the present moment and do the task that you've set out to complete. You've become mentally, emotionally, physically, and socially in a good place. But then what? You don't want all of your anxieties and your sadness and all of these emotions to come back. But that's what will happen throughout life. That's just a fact of life. There are always going to be challenges and problems, one after another after another. Of course, we can't wait for all of these problems to resolve before we decide to feel peaceful and be in the present moment. We can't wait for everything to be perfect and say, oh, I don't have time for all of this. I'll become present later. No, the whole point of being present is to realize that attaining peace is possible in this present moment, and the whole point is to enjoy the journey. You can spend your whole life waiting. First you're in school, then you're paying off loans, you're waiting for your dream job, waiting to fall in love, start a family, then you're paying back loans, then you're waiting for your kids to grow up, waiting for retirement, and for all your dreams to come true. There's nothing wrong with having goals and dreams. These are amazing things. But are you really going to wait until all of that is done and you're 70 years old to become peaceful? We'd like to think not, but unfortunately, a lot of times, especially in Western society, that's what ends up happening because that's what we're so accustomed to. But in order to gain that inner peace, you have to realize that if not now, then when? You are in charge of your own happiness, and no one is going to come to you and hand you that on a silver platter. You have to be the one to decide in this exact moment to choose to be peaceful regardless of your external life circumstances. You don't have control over a lot of things, situations, and other people over the past or the future, but you do have control over what's most important, and that is choosing your thoughts, emotions, and actions. You have the power to choose your own happiness. You have the choice to pursue a life that is composed of peaceful moments that add up to a meaningful life. This is what's completely in your control, and no one can take that away from you. The best way that you can choose to have a peaceful life is to focus your full attention on whatever it is that you're doing and to enjoy the simple pleasures and let go of what you can't control. Those are all my favorite tips on how to become more present and how to live a life of peace. I want to end by reading you this quote by Andy Rooney that's one of my favorites. For most of life, nothing wonderful happens. If you don't enjoy getting up and working and finishing your work and sitting down to a meal with family or friends, then the chances are that you're not going to be very happy. If someone bases his happiness or unhappiness on major events like a great new job, huge amounts of money, a flawlessly happy marriage, or a trip to Paris, that person is not going to be happy much of the time. If, on the other hand, happiness depends on a good breakfast, flowers in the yard, a drink, or a nap, then we are more likely to live with quite a bit of happiness. So if you're able to become present and find the simple joys of just being in every moment, then you're more likely to live a more peaceful life. If you've enjoyed these tips, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you know when I post my next video. Also, comment down below what technique you use to bring more peace and presence into your life. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.